Do you hear a loud, annoying whine from under your hood? Or is your check engine light on, but your car seems to run just fine? You could be dealing with a P0417 diagnostic trouble code, which stands for Secondary Air Injection System Switching Valve be circuit shorted. Many modern vehicles use a secondary air injection system, often called a smog pump, to help reduce harmful exhaust emissions right after you start a cold engine. This system uses an electric or belt-driven pump to blow fresh, outside air directly into your exhaust manifold. This extra oxygen helps the catalytic converter heat up faster and burn off excess hydrocarbons. To control where and when this air flows, the system uses switching valves. The engine computer monitors the electrical circuits for these valves. If it detects a short circuit, meaning the wiring has touched a power or ground source it shouldn't have, specifically on the circuit for valve B, it triggers this code. Because this system is strictly for emissions, a shorted valve circuit usually won't affect how your engine runs or drives. The main symptoms are an illuminated check engine light, and if the short forces the pump to stay on constantly, you might hear a loud whining noise or wake up to a dead battery. If the short blew the fuse, the pump simply won't turn on at all. The most common cause for this code is damaged wiring or a corroded electrical connector leading to the switching valve. However, another incredibly common issue, especially if you live in a cold climate, is water condensation freezing inside the air pump or the valve. When the water freezes solid, it locks up the pump, and when the computer tries to turn it on, the electrical spike blows the fuse and sets a short circuit code. The valve itself could also be internally shorted. To start diagnosing this yourself, grab a flashlight and locate the secondary air injection pump and switching valves under the hood. Carefully inspect the wiring harness for any melted plastic, bare wires touching the metal engine block, or green corrosion inside the connectors. Next, locate the fuse box and check the specific fuse and relay for the air pump. If the fuse is blown, do not just replace it. You need to figure out why it blew. If you live in a freezing climate, the pump might just be full of ice and needs to thaw out in a warm garage. If the wiring looks good and the pump isn't frozen, you'll need a digital multimeter to test the resistance of the switching valve itself. Because emissions components can be tricky to locate and test, if you aren't comfortable with a multimeter, it is time to visit a mechanic. They have the bidirectional scan tools needed to manually command the valves open and closed, making it much easier to pinpoint the exact electrical short. Fix it so you can pass your emissions inspection.